3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Unlearned and Reborn, a podcast where old habits are unlearned and new ones are reborn. That's what I want y'all to understand. You cannot give up dreaming because you get a closed door. Do you know how many closed doors have happened to other famous people? Do you know how many no's they received before they got the yes that really was the life changer? You cannot give up for one no, one closed door. Hey YouTube, hey Apple Podcasts, how are y'all feeling today? And Spotify, don't want to leave you out. I want to really talk about believing in your dreams. For me, I've always been a dreamer, right? I mean, clearly I've dreamt about the podcast. I did a lot of talking about the podcast. I finally did the podcast. Yay me, it girl energy. And I just remember that in order to even get to this point, I had to get past the wishing stage. 2 years ago, like 2019, I said, okay, I want to do a podcast. So initially my thought was, okay, I want to do the podcast. Okay. And you start thinking even more about the podcast. Okay, what would the podcast look like? Okay, do I want to do a backdrop or do I want to show the white walls? Okay, bet. I want to do a backdrop. Okay, lighting. Do I need to add more light? Okay, do I need to soundproof my room? You start actually visualizing this thing. So I think first it's thinking, right? And then you go into visualizing it. But I want to put a pin here because I feel like a lot of dreamers cannot get out of the thinking stage. There's a couple of places where we can get caught up, but the thinking stage for sure, I feel like is where a lot of dreamers get caught. Even in school, remember in school when teachers would tell you, stop daydreaming, pay attention to class, stop, or have you ever heard somebody say, oh, I want to go to NFL, and somebody, as soon as NFL comes out of their mouth, they're like, bro, you ain't even that good. You ain't even that sweet. You ain't even like that. And it's just like a lot of dreams get killed in the thinking stage because of other people's negativity. I do believe sometimes it is our own. I know for me, even when I had my business, Alyse's Custom Creations, LLC, shout out to the OGs that know what I'm talking about. I went through a period of time before I even actually decided, okay, bet, I'm actually going to get the LLC. I went through a period of time where I was just like, no, I don't even know like if I'm going to be able to survive this, because I had started my business April 2020. So in like the beginning of COVID, I said, okay, bet, I'm going to start a business, so I don't drive myself cuckoo nuts in this house, and, I'm going to find me a hobby to do. And it's just like, I feel like for the LLC, it wasn't too hard for me to get out of the thinking phase. I said, okay, listen, I want to turn my hobby into like a hustle in a way, like to make money from it. So I need to get the LLC. Okay, cool. But it's like when it came to the podcast, y'all, it was just a little different for me. I felt like I was more nervous because at least with my business, it was still my creative work, but I didn't have to actually see myself like I do. Like I watch my own videos on YouTube. I listen to my podcast in the car. I listen to my podcast at the gym, throughout my house when I'm cleaning. Like it's a constant, it could be a constant like critiquing. I remember like my first episode 1, the real truth about friends, the harsh truth about friends. Y'all, I spent so long editing that, trying to take out the breaths here, the breaths there. And I asked my husband the other day, I was like, babe, this most recent episode that I put out, Forgiving My Abusers, which is my most heartfelt episode yet, outside of Forgiving My Father episode, I edited out. I told myself from episode 6 and on, for the rest of the seasons and episodes that y'all hear me, I'm going to try to keep it as minimal editing as possible. Like, y'all gonna hear me breathe, and I will. And I was just like, I didn't realize that I was doing, because I guess for me, I just was like, I feel like it's gonna sound weird if I'm like, in somebody's ear. Like, I just didn't think that that would sound good. But my husband was like, babe, but that's literally what we do when we talk. We have to breathe. And if you just like just are just talking and talking, and there's no breathing, like it just doesn't seem as authentic. So I was like, okay, bet. So like the last episode, I recorded it, I edited it in like 2 hours, I think, or something like that. So it's like cut the time down tremendously. But I just remember when I said, okay, I want to do the podcast, I was so nervous because it's like we live in a culture, today's society that people eat you up for anything, dang near. Any opinion that you have, any hot take that you have, people are ready to crucify you. But those very people that are so ready to crucify you, they don't have the courage to do what you're doing. So that's what I stand on. I'm like, I have a gift. I have power in my voice. I have a message. Whatever somebody else has to say to me about my message, about my podcast, at this point, I don't care anymore because it's just like I cannot advance. How can I advance to even get to the wishing stage if I'm so busy thinking about what other people are thinking about me? Like, that's something that I struggle with often. Just the opinions of other people, because I know when I'm in the lab, when I'm in my office and I'm coming up with content ideas and I'm sitting in front of this camera recording, I know I'm putting my all into this thing once I press record. And I really want to say to the people that are so quick to have negativity about somebody's art, bruh, all content creators and people that have the courage to even post TikToks of them working out, cooking videos, bruh, that stuff takes time. And we condense this stuff into, like I say, a rough cut of me doing a podcast can be anywhere from 25 to 45 minutes of just raw me talking, just like unedited footage. I cut that thing down to about 35 to 40 minutes. Adding the intro, the outro, and the intro of the podcast at the beginning. And I still have to tweak certain things. I have to tweak the pitch sometimes because the Houston in me, I'm a little loud, and, this wonderful mic, as great as it is, the Shure SM7B, it's amazing. However, sometimes because I'm so naturally loud, it's just going to amplify it. And I don't want to bust y'all eardrums. So that's its own, working process. So I just came to a point where I was like, I do not care anymore about naysayers. It's for the most part, I can honestly say it's been positive, but I'm just talking in over the umbrella. Like when you're trying to do something new, people are so quick to hate. Oh, I don't listen to podcasts. Oh, why you want to talk about that on your podcast? How come you don't do this? How come you don't do that? Okay, my thing is this. If that's something that you would like to see, you can start it. You go start it yourself. Like, why can't I do it the way that I want to do it, the vibe that I want to do it, and the flow I want to do it? That's what I'm going to do. So I just wanted to say that, even just validating myself in this moment, because it takes a lot of courage to do this. Like, a lot of people want the accolades and the fame and the stardom that comes with making it big, going viral. But baby, do you want to do the work to even start creating consistently? Like, I know for sure I was put on this earth to create, whether it's this podcast, back when I had my t-shirt business, back when I crochet. I taught myself how to crochet from YouTube, y'all. Just like I taught myself how to do HTV cricket on YouTube, I taught myself how to crochet straight from YouTube. And it's like, I know that that is my innate gift that God decided to give me, was just creativity. That whatever I put my mind to, I can make that thing work. What? And it's just like, I just want to encourage y'all to just be careful of haters, because if you are not sure of your dream, and you are not sure of the stage of dreaming that you are in, you will let people's opinions kill it well before it makes it to production. Like, there are so many dreams that never even make it to production. Like, on Shark Tank, bruh, they be rough with them folks. Some of them people end up walking away from their dream, from their invention altogether, And some people are like, you know what? That's fine. Sharks, y'all don't want my invention, but I know this is worth something. So bet I got the exposure that I needed from being on the show, and I'm just going to take it and run with it from here. That's how you have to be. Like, bro, like right now, I don't even want to like necessarily get into it, but of the behind the scenes, but it's like, bro, I'm really working, y'all. Like I'm trying to, do collaborations with different brands, with different people. Like there's things that I have on my list that I'm like, God, I want to do these things. And then it goes into the next part, the wishing. Y'all, there's nothing wrong with wishing that you have a bigger house, or wishing that you had a nicer car, wishing that you had a better job, wishing that, you had a better marriage, a better, a better acting kid, a better whatever. But the wishing stage can easily turn into remorse. I mean, not remorse, I'm sorry, resentment. And it can also turn you bitter, because essentially, when you say that you wish that you had something else besides being grateful for what you had, you're already showing a tinge, a little bit of ungratefulness. Like you're not content with what you have, you know? And it's like, until I decided that no matter how many followers I have, no matter how much watch time I have on YouTube, no matter how many subscribers I have, I am going to continue to post every Thursday and Sunday to the best of my ability. Unless I'm on vacation, and even then, I still would like to post and just record ahead of time. Like, this is my dream here, right here. Unlearned Reborn, this is my dream. And I cannot be looking, social media, it's hard not to wish what someone else has when that's all you see on your TL. It's very hard to do. I know that, because I find myself scrolling and swiping and like, man, like this person is really living my dream, bruh. And then I start looking at the numbers, and then, I can honestly say I've most recently, I've stopped myself. Like, Shania, you are working. You are doing your thing. You have to give it time. I don't want nothing quick. I don't want nothing that I worked 2 hours for, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's so much stardom, it's so much fandom, I don't know how to keep up. I don't want nothing quick like that, because as quick as I got it, that's as quick as it's gonna go. And I want to go viral. I want to go I want to get famous, quote unquote, for something that I truly stand by. Like, have y'all ever seen somebody that say they post a dance or something on TikToks, they instantly get labeled, oh, they're the TikTok dancer. They're they're the ones they're the person that likes to Dougie all the time. Bruh, whole time, you're passionate about fashion. But now, because this is what you hot for, a lot of people will just stay in that lane, because you're like, okay, well, shoot, that's what's giving me the dollar. That's what's getting, and give up on your original dream entirely. I've been guilty of it. That's exactly why I closed my business and said no. And I still think it was a lesson in it. It taught me how to be a CEO of myself. It taught me the ins and outs of Shopify. It taught me the ins and outs of PayPal. Those are things that I got in my back pocket as knowledge. So it was not a complete L. And I don't even think it was an L at all, honestly. It was really a learning experience more than a loss. I learned so much from that. And now I know for a fact where I want to go. And if I, and then when I start, when I open up my next business that's surrounded around my content and me being a content creator, I already have so much stuff from me having my previous LLC in my pocket. It's just going to be kind of like getting a refresher. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that I closed the business, for sure. And I'm glad that I did not give up on dreaming. That's what I want y'all to understand. You cannot give up dreaming because you get a closed door. Do you know how many closed doors have happened to other famous people? Do you know how many no's they received before they got the yes that really was the life changer? You cannot give up for one no, one closed door. Even 17 no's, 17. Listen, I am so serious about what I'm doing with this content, y'all, that I literally, before I press record, I was getting ready to go lay down because I'm tired. I had a long day. And I said, no, I got work to do. Here I am running on 3.5 hours of sleep. And I said, no, I'm going to record. When you get to that place where you start sacrificing your wants for your needs, I need to put out content. I need to continue to post and continue to drive this podcast because there is an open door waiting for me. It's waiting for me to get there. It's waiting for me to turn the knob and walk through. But how can I ever get to the door if I stop too early? I stop prematurely because, I don't got enough followers. I don't got enough views. I'm not getting monetized yet. Man, what? No. I started this and I promise you, I intend to finish this. Period. I'm not giving up because I didn't get stardom overnight. I want something that's going to last. I want to build legacy. A lot of us want to build little straw huts. You trying to build something up quick. You trying to build up a pop-up shop, baby. I want a legacy. I want my name to be ringing centuries beyond me leaving this planet. For my children, my children's children. I want my name to be known. I want it to be written down in a book somewhere that this girl, this woman, she trailblazed and she changed. But that can only happen because I am dogmatic determined, y'all, to stay on the course. I am not looking to the left. I'm not looking to the right. I'm staying right here. I am staying right here. Right here. So we talked about the thinking stage, the wishing stage. How about the next stage, the waiting stage? Where you're just waiting. Have you ever said to somebody, man, you talk to somebody, bro, I'm just waiting for my mixtape to get in the right hands. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to see my film. I'm waiting. You're waiting. You need to be willingly doing something. You cannot just be just waiting. We need to get out of that. Like, bro, like this social media paints this irrational picture that you're going to be at the gas station bumping your new song and Usher is going to be 2 pumps down, nodding his head like, dang, boy, that be slap. And he come over to your car like, hey, what song is, who's this that you're playing? And you like, oh, it's me, yeah, man, I've been grinding for, no, bro, that's Hollywood movie type stuff, 1 in a million type stuff. Does it happen? Yes. How do you know? Because we've seen it. Literally, Justin Bieber, it literally happened. Something similar to that. But bruh, the average Joe, that does not happen. We need to go back to hard work and dedication gets you to the thing. Even after all the no's, even after all the we'll take it, but we kind of want you to do it more like this. Even after, the imitators, you tell somebody your dream and they run off with it and go do it. But listen, you have to come to a place where you are the real McCoy. Nobody can get behind a sure mic and do what I do. I promise you, nobody can do it like me. And that's just the confidence that I have. It's not cocky. It's being confident and sure of myself to know that you can't speak how I speak because, one, a lot of people are not willing to be vulnerable and honest with themselves. I literally look myself in the mirror so much now. I couldn't do that 2-3 years ago. I hated looking at myself in the mirror. I literally have a mirror over here that on some of the videos y'all might see me kind of look over to the side, but I have a mirror literally pointed at me so I can see myself doing the thing that I used to dream about and talk about when I was thinking about it, when I was wishing about it, when I was waiting about it. Waiting on what? I have no idea. Now I am doing. That's the last stage, doing it and doing it consistently enough. Even on the days you don't want to, you still do it. I know we say, oh, you got to, do something that you're passionate about, bro. You got to be passionate. Listen, some days you're not going to have no passion. Some days you're not going to have no motivation for it. You are going to be like, forget this. This job sucks. This manager gets on my nerves. These coworkers, they irritating. These kids, this husband, this wife, these friends. You're going to get to a place where motivation and that frilly dilly stuff, it's not going to work. It's not going to be enough. You're going to have to dig beyond the passion and the motivation. You're going to have to dig deep to your foundation. So I love to look at myself in the mirror. I do it at the gym too. I pound myself. I know people probably think I'm crazy. I don't care. I literally pound myself in the gym. There's a mirror. It's like a 2-way mirror. I get done with my set and I know I just pushed through that last set. Boom. Because I have to be my biggest supporter. Because guess what? On the flip end, I used to be my worst critic. Sometimes I even still am, honestly. But I don't allow the critic in me to take away from the gift that I know that I truly possess. Like, if you forget, some of us may not really care what other people think, but also I hope that you're not the one that's killing the dream on your own. Like, some of y'all need to really take time to look in the mirror, like just stare at yourself and honestly just look. I mean, I notice stuff about myself like often, almost every other day. I notice when a new mole is coming in. I notice if I got like, some acne coming in. I notice if some of my eyebrow hair a little sparse, a little thin. Eyelashes, some of them growing, some of them not. I mean, why? Because I stay looking at myself. And I look at myself, and and I even while I'm looking at myself, I'll give myself pep talks. Come on, girl, you can do this. There's times even when I'm editing and I let it play through, I'm literally verbally out loud telling myself, girl, you said that. Girl, you did so good. Look at you. I'm back here like shrieking because guess what? We often wait for the validation from others. I give myself validation first. I literally comment on my own YouTube videos. Y'all can go and see it. I'm not lying. Y'all can go and see it. My personal YouTube, Shania D. I go in there under Unlearned Reborn. Girl, you the it girl. I literally just commented on my video the other day. I heart my own stuff because I am I am my biggest supporter. And when nobody else, is around, I have to make sure that I am so grounded in this thing. I'm grounded in my faith, and I'm grounded so grounded in my purpose and my assignment that when the ground under me starts shaking, I am not fazed by that. That stuff used to knock me over all the time. And I used to just be like, oh, I can't do this. I had a little moment today while I was driving, and I was just like, man, I want to be doing XYZ right now, with my content, and there's nothing wrong with holding yourself to a standard. But if you're not working towards that standard, you are just complaining. You're not working. There's a difference between complaining and actually doing. You can be unhappy with your results. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. But when you start complaining about your results and you're not doing anything about it, that's insanity. You're doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting different results. So I really want y'all to be encouraged today that you can have those dreams that you are dreaming about. You can be a dreamer, but you need to understand the stage that you are in. Are you in the thinking stage? Are you in the wishing stage? Are you in the waiting stage, or are you in the doing stage? If you're not in the doing stage, then you got to start reprioritizing what you're doing with your time. We all get 24 hours a day. All of us. And I saw somebody on TikTok was like, bruh, do y'all ever feel like it's just no matter how much you try to, schedule out your day, it's just not enough time. And I'm like, I feel you on that. It really do seem like that. But at the same time, it's really because we're not prioritizing. We make time for what we want to make time for. My mom would always say that. You make time for what you want to make time for. You wanted to be out all night with your friends, you getting up and going to church. And everybody knew that was spending the night at our house. You spend it on Saturday. I hope we go to church on Sunday. So if you don't want to go to church, don't come over here because you're coming with us. And that's just, I love Google Calendar. They really need to sponsor me because I love Google Calendar. I promise y'all I do. I schedule out everything on my Google Calendar. When I'm supposed to call somebody back, all my appointments, all my medical appointments, our son's medical appointments, my husband's appointments, I'll put in, if we have somebody to come do a work order at the house, I schedule that. I do it all. I put all of that in there. Sometimes I forget, but for the most part, I'm really good at that. And just scheduling out stuff has really taught me and let me see, girl, I know you don't be thinking you have enough time, but you got a lot more time than you think you do. A lot of that time that you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time, it's because you're idly doing nothing. Honestly, if I can be completely honest, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything with your time. Either, whether that's, sleeping, that's necessary. You watching TV or, TikTok. I ain't gonna lie, I'm guilty of it. For I know it, 2 hours has passed because I've just been scrolling, watching 30-second videos. It don't seem like a lot of time, but when you just scrolling, you know? And I'd be so happy when I see on my iPhone, y'all, that it say my screen time is like 8 minutes. I'd be like, oh, girl, it's giving discipline. Yes. So, you know, be encouraged. You can have what you want, but you have to be willing to work. If you want it handed to you, who knows? You may meet the connection that you want to meet, and they may, be willing to, front you or, give you what it is that you want. But just understand, when you don't work for something, y'all know how it used to be. When you would work for something that you really, really wanted, right? And you finally were able to get it. I remember when I had my first job and I really, really wanted, I think it was like, I don't know, something, clothes or something. And I finally got that thing. Baby, I took care of that thing. And I'm really good about taking care of my stuff, but it's especially because I bought it. Oh, I made sure it was hung up, it was ironed. It looked very, very nice. And it's just like, that's what happens that's just like enjoying the fruits of your labor, right? That's how I feel about the car that I drive. Like, I know I was tithing. I'm, a faithful tither. I was, doing the best that I could, praying and everything like that. Like, now I get to drive in my reward every day. And that's how I feel about this content that I am putting out. I will be able to enjoy the fruits of this labor. And I want that for you too. Okay? Listen, if you're watching on YouTube, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to comment, like, and subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. I need you to like, comment, subscribe. Please do that. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay? For real, I really want you to be here every Thursday and Sunday. Also, turn your notification bells on. Hello. So that you can know when I post a new episode. And if you want to listen on the go, whether you're driving in your whip, you're at the gym, you're cooking dinner, you're cleaning and folding up them towels that's been sitting on the couch for 2 weeks, you can follow the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We are here live and direct every Thursday and Sunday. And I would love for you to follow the show. Not only follow the show, I want you to set your phone up for automatic downloads. Because sometimes y'all be texting me like, bruh, I don't know. It don't be automatically downloading. Did you turn on automatic downloads? Did you? So, yeah, do that for me, okay? And yeah, that's all I got for y'all for this episode. Thank you for all the downloads, all the love and appreciation that you guys show the podcast. I am just amazed. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.